Each year, McDonald's invests hundreds of millions of dollars into marketing and advertising, successfully inserting itself into the minds of everyday consumers. Through past campaigns which have sold a sense of belonging, coupled with narratives such as "I'm loving it" to resonate McDonald's as an inclusive part of everyday life, it is unquestionably apparent that McDonald's has established itself as a leader in the Australian food space with its strong brand image and ability to appeal to the masses. In spite of this, however, there are perceived shortcomings that McDonald's has been unable to shake in conjunction with the changing landscape of consumer buying behavior. So, where exactly does McDonald's fall short that ultimately threatens its reputation and how consumers perceive their brand? Our firm Group 7 has identified 3 recurrent weaknesses that consumers associate with McDonald's that threatens its future prospects of increasing revenue and acquiring greater market share. These 3 weaknesses are as follows. 1. The menu at McDonald's has been perceived to be non-inclusive of consumers identifying with specific dietary requirements and needs. 2. McDonald's has been ambiguous in their response to tackling climate change, failing to adhere to the growing environmental concerns its consumers may have. 3. McDonald's is continuously subject to a narrative that has reputed the brand into one that serves unhealthy, processed junk foods. An issue arising, simultaneously with the increasing awareness of what goes into one's body. With these threats in mind, you must be asking, how must McDonald's respond and what opportunities present themselves? To answer that question, I'll pass it over to my team who will suggest 3 recommendations surrounding each of these 3 key issues.
As established through correlating the key findings through each individual's primary research reports, there is a clear indication that McDonald's needs to improvise and evolve its brand's perception among consumers. Upon conducting research, it became evident that McDonald's menu selection is aimed to the general population who aren't restricted by their personal lifestyle choice. McDonald's should be considering the motivations of their consumers and how they can best influence these and achieve the needs of their consumers. As vegans and vegetarians see their choice as a lifestyle, McDonald's should aim to accommodate this through offering a separate menu where consumers 100% know that the way they view themselves, so their self-concept, is met. Maslow's hierarchy of needs helps to understand how creating this new menu will help not only to expand their consumer base, but also brand awareness as a company that meets the needs of all their consumers. The menu would include breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals, for example, dairy-free yogurts, fish, plant-based meals, gluten-free bread, dairy, cheese, etc. This recommendation is best suited to sustain McDonald's leading-edge position into the ongoing future. This campaign will be backed with an advertisement. This campaign will help to push this image of inclusivity and that no matter what your individual lifestyle choice is, McDonald's will accommodate that. It is recommended that McDonald's begin this short video advert with individuals walking down a street that is encompassed with dark, gloomy sensory imagery where there is nowhere to eat that caters for the needs of these people. One small voice echoes with the new items on McDonald's vegan vegetarian menu, and suddenly the McDonald's logo lights up with color, which enhances emotions of happiness and inclusivity. The perception model is evident in this campaign in how consumers perceive and interpret marketing stimuli in determining the way they feel towards a company. The sensory stimuli through contrasting the dark, tall buildings to the bright openness adds emphasis on the feelings attached to these colors. McDonald's can reshape individual brand perception through this campaign by playing on consumers' wants/needs through the third tier belonging as mentioned in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is imperative for McDonald's to change their consumers' perception and increase brand awareness to uphold its success in the fast food industry into the ongoing future.
An initiative McDonald's could implement to shift their consumers' negative health perception is to create an interactive app that allows consumers to create their own meals to their desired tastes and health attributes. The app should simply identify the calories and macronutrients of each ingredient and the meal they create. Additionally, the app will allow portion adjustments with appropriate cost associations to retain McDonald's low cost perception and prevent elastic demand responses. This interactive initiative of consumers building their own meals will activate consumers' haptic sensory receptors, creating a sense of belonging with the McDonald's brand. The development of this app will be an effective strategy as it responds to society's growing demand for health-conscious alternatives. This is subsequent to health impressions increasing in consumers' schemas. As the app responds to individuals' needs and wants, it promotes McDonald's as a prototypical category member for health-conscious fast food restaurants and in consumers' consideration sets. Additionally, the app will enable personal modifications for food allergies and health preferences, such as vegetarians and gluten-free alternatives. Ultimately, this recommended initiative of allowing consumers to build their own meals within McDonald's app will efficiently respond to individuals' health desires and to society's increasing health awareness.
A feasible solution to McDonald's environmental issue is to integrate plant-based substitutes for its meat products, which offers the culinary experience of meat without the need for a single animal, which can also help emit 30% to 90% less greenhouse gas. So how exactly would McDonald's persuade their consumers to choose vegan? And the solution could be to conduct a blind test. And the blind test has taken inspiration from Hungry Jack's successful vegan burger commercial. And here is the video demonstration. Since a plant-based burger tastes indistinguishable from the meat-based one, the consumers would likely choose the healthier plant-based option, in alignment with the idea that perception has significant effects on consumers' preferences. And this essentially emulates a study conducted by Leonard Lee in 2006, where it shows that the impact of an unusual secret ingredient for a beer on consumers' preference for that specific beer. And the study concluded that the unusual secret ingredient affected preferences by influencing the experience itself. Therefore, perception can influence consumers' experience with products. So McDonald's could definitely apply the idea of perception to promote a healthier and sustainable way of running their business.
McDonald's could implement the idea of planting a tree for every $10 spent by each customer. This would aid McDonald's in terms of their brand image, striving to become more environmentally friendly and aligning themselves with the concept of corporate social responsibility. This would not only incentivize consumers to spend money at McDonald's, which could in turn increase profitability, but also be an important step in eliminating the stigma of McDonald's as an unhealthy brand that pays little attention to the status of the environment around them. Moreover, McDonald's can combine this possible strategy with the idea of implementing reusable cups to further create a more environmentally friendly business model. The business should incorporate reusable cups in their menu and attempt to eventually shift away from disposable cups as they're poor for the environment. The company could market this by shifting the classic slogan, "I'm loving it too, I'm loving Earth," to stay true to the image of the brand but updating it to meet environmental and social demands. McDonald's could incentivize consumers to purchase these cups by combining it with the Plant a Tree initiative. It could be integrated by offering to plant a tree for every reusable cup purchased.